Hey, you come here often? Yeah. Woo.
Hey Falcon and Winter Soldier fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Episode 3 of Falcon and Winter Soldier is now out there, continuing to surprise us with not only jaw-dropping events in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but reintroducing characters we're supposed to hate, but now love more than New Cap. Like, no joke, all it took was Zemo to dance for me to be like, this guy ain't so bad, man. I want him part of the team. And we're definitely going to be discussing that ending right there. No joke. I know you might not believe me. This was the shirt I chose to wear when I first hit play on episode 3 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I had no idea this was going to end with some Wakanda. So what I'm going to do here for you guys is giving you my Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3 breakdown, pointing out Easter eggs you might have missed from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, callbacks to the previous Captain America movies, and where things are likely to be headed, because they set up some big things for this episode that'll be happening in the next couple ones. As well as don't be forgetting to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the breakdown, and comment down below what you thought of today's episode. Some people are saying this has been their favorite one so far, and you know what? I don't blame them. So the opening of Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 3, we get a commercial reminding us of them good old WandaVision days, but this is a regular commercial in the MCU for the Global Repatriation Council. Now this is the council in the MCU that is responsible for helping all the people that were dusted away and gone for 5 years re-enter society, with giving them financial funds, issuing new social securities, healthcare, and is kind of the thing that has made the Flag Smasher group mad at the world, where it's like, we were here living through the 5 years. We don't get no financial aid. We don't get no assistance back into the world. We had to live through all that, and you're given special treatment. Also like a metaphor of segregating the group and treating one side superior than the other. And we all know Falcon and Winter Soldier has been very political so far, as it should be, because that's what the Captain America movies have kind of been, and this is a spin-off to the Captain America world. Moving in, we get to see John Walker, New Cap, on a mission, going after the same base that we saw the last episode where the Flag Smashers were in hideout. Oh, guys, you're gonna hate me. I just couldn't resist, man. This pop pyramid was looking so depressing. I had to pre-order the John Walker pop just to fill in this little gap. Forgive me. One thing I absolutely loved about this interaction right here and him trying to do his job is the frustration on New Cap's face when he's face to face with a bad guy who has no superpowers, has nothing extremely threatening about him, but this guy is just like everyone else, willing to spit in the face of New Cap, and this has just got him mad for several reasons. For one, it's one of the reasons that we're thinking he's gonna go bad in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. It seems pretty obvious that they're leading us up to believe that Sam and Bucky are gonna take this shield away from him, but they also got established in the show a good reason to take that shield away from him, so they don't just look like bullies. And it seems like New Cap is not only hell-bent on stopping the Flag Smashers, but he desperately wants some of that super soldier serum that is out there, because he feels like it's the last key he needs to be a Captain America that's not only threatening, but that could also fill in the shoes of Steve Rogers. And it's going to be kind of the metaphoric thing that separates this New Cap from probably Sam Wilson when he becomes Captain America, is the whole notion that Steve Rogers had: you don't need super soldier serum to be Captain America, you just need to fight and do right by the people. Moving on to what Sam and Bucky are doing, they go and pay Baron Zemo a visit in prison, trying to get some info about who could be making the new super soldier serum that is out there. Starting off with the interaction, Bucky going in. I like how Zemo immediately starts trying the code words that triggered Bucky back in Captain America Civil War, restoring him to his Winter Soldier days of just being a mindless machine attacking people. Good to know that has finally left his system. But what they decide to do next kind of surprised me, and I'm really curious to see what you Marvel fans are thinking about this. But they come to the conclusion, because Baron Zemo is such a hater of superheroes, wanting to get rid of all the super soldiers out there, and his insight into Hydra and their underworkings, he would be a vital asset into finding this new serum and where to even begin, that they break him out of prison. I think they do put a good spin on it when Bucky goes ahead and reminds Sam that it's like, didn't you break the law with Steve, going against the Sokovia Accords, going on the run for the right of the people? This is no different. We're breaking the law for the right of the people, but I am telling you, it's gonna bite them back in the butt, and Baron Zemo is gonna eventually do some damage, and we get some foreshadowing of that later on in this episode that we'll dive into. And this, for me, is when the episode shined to high heavens, because I knew Baron Zemo returning in for the Falcon and Winter Soldier would be something cool, especially since they were finally giving him his iconic purple mask. I thought he was one of the smarter MCU villains out there, but little did I know, he's also one of the most charismatic and funny villains that we've had. Just the whole plane interaction where he's working as sort of this marriage counselor for Bucky and Sam, I think is hilarious. I even see some Marvel fans pointing out Baron Zemo was basically a sugar daddy for these two, because he was just offering them private plane rides, champagne, all this fancy food and traveling. Some interesting things that we do learn here, though, is one, the book that Bucky had where he writes down the names of all the people he's wronged as the Winter Soldier and needs to do right by. We all figured this was kind of a reference into what Steve Rogers did, where he would write down things that he would need to catch up on in society, but now we know that's the exact same book that Steve Rogers had, so that lets me know that this book was a hand-me-down from Steve Rogers to Bucky once his memory was wiped and needed to re-enter society. Like, here man, this list of stuff really brought me into the new age, helped me understand this world a little bit, and hopefully this book can help you. Except Bucky took it at a different path and thought, yeah, this book can help me to write down the names of the people I need to apologize or come clean to. But the plan they have in store is to go to Madripoor, which is a made-up fictional place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love how they're using the show to expand the world and really show us things that we haven't seen before in the movies. In this fictional town, it's just a place where all the baddies go to live, but more importantly, we're there to find a character finally name dropped, the Power Broker. Now, the Power Broker was mentioned here and there in previous episodes, but here he's kind of more fleshed out, even though we don't get to see him. The Power Broker is someone important in the comic books who has been known to be the experimenter and causing all these super soldiers to come to light in the modern age. He's responsible for John Walker getting super soldier serum, even new Falcon that we haven't seen in a while, Joaquin Torres. Now, some of the secret identities are also Easter eggs in the Marvel Cinematic Universe here. We have Sam Wilson take up the identity of Smiling Tiger. Now, this is a minor villain in the Marvel comics with the same name. Smiling Tiger has even been part of the Thunderbolts, which are set to show up in the She-Hulk series. But I think this was just more of a little name drop and Easter egg of a character that's out there. Who knows if we'll actually see him. But as our mission continues on in Madripoor, we are put in this club location where they're waiting to speak to someone who knows where the Power Broker is and can give them information on the super soldier serum Selby. Before that, some interesting things that happened. One, I loved how Sam Wilson had to take a drink out of that snake gut. Absolutely disgusting. But Zemo continues to reinforce to these guys that you need to stay in character. You need to pretend and do everything I tell you or we will be killed. And one of those things is forcing the Winter Soldier, Bucky, to act like the Winter Soldier, a mindless machine that can just be controlled at any cost. And I think that was really hard for Bucky. There's a point there after Bucky goes ahead and takes down a bunch of guys in the room where Sam looks at him and is like, are you all right? But you know, Bucky just had to have been pissed to be put in that Winter Soldier persona, something that he's really trying to escape from. Just the complex layers here that they're adding to these two characters, I'm absolutely loving. After the trio gets the information they need, blow their cover, and run off, we are met with a character in the MCU we haven't seen in a while, and that is Agent 13, Sharon Carter. Now, this is actually some of the stuff that surprised me about the character and the direction that the MCU decided to take that kind of shed some light to how dark some of these missions are, where they just leave people behind. Agent 13 is no longer Agent 13 or even an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. She is someone out on the run because she decided to take the side of Captain America in Civil War, making her an outlaw and somebody wanted by the US government. But really, that conversation she just drops there where it's like, yeah, you got to be with Captain America, you got to go be on the run. He just kind of left me, man. Not only that, he went back in time and slept with my grandmammy. Well, I don't know if she knows that much, but if she did, woo, wouldn't be happy. The show just kind of gave me a new level of respect for Agent 13 and all the struggles she had to go through with being someone who followed Cap only to get the butt end of that deal and be left behind, never to wonder whatever happened to her. But moving forward, after we get some much needed Baron Zemo dancing, like I said, I need this on the loop. NFTs are a thing. I need to buy that NFT, MCU. We finally meet the Power Broker's secret weapon, and that is Wilfred Nagel, the scientist who has successfully recreated the Super Soldier Serum. Now, this is the first guy to do it since Stanley Tucci's character, Dr. Abraham. And not only is this character actually pretty faithful from the Marvel Comics, Wilfred Nagel also was the one part of the Rebirth program in the comics that was trying to build new super soldiers, and in the comics was even the one to give Isaiah Bradley the successful serum. Here, though, the explanation is that the US government government, the CIA, was the one who originally had him on this plan to resurrect the super soldier serum, but then Thanos happened, where he was dusted away, and after 5 years, that project was let go, only to be re-picked back up by the power broker. Now, this could lead to some big things in the MCU right there, because like I mentioned, there is set to be a Thunderbolts introduction somewhere in one of these Disney Plus shows. Now, if you don't know, the Thunderbolts are almost kind of like the Suicide Squad for the MCU. It's just a team of very powerful people, usually made up of villains. One of the main ones being General Ross as the Red Hulk. We could see his research be responsible for a new Hulk serum, since maybe it wasn't perfect at that time. But if General Ross hears that his serum was close to it, he'll probably inject it with himself, turning into the Red Hulk. Again, that's just a theory. The most important part here is how Zemo reacts to all this once getting all the information they need, that there are 20 vials made out there and only a limited amount of Flag Smashers, meaning there's still about 7 or 8 unused super soldier serum vials to be found. Zemo repeats history, killing off the only scientist that could replicate the super soldier serum, as per his motive of wanting to get rid of as many super powered people in the world. This really fell in line with Baron Zemo's motive, made a lot of sense, and is also a good way for the MCU to explain we're not just going to have super soldiers popping up left and right. They will continue to be a limited commodity in the world, because come on, if there was too many super soldiers, it just wouldn't feel that special anymore. In their getaway, we do get a great callback to Captain America Civil War, where Bucky and Sam are in the car waiting for Cap, and they fight over the seats being too close to each other. That's just a great little small thing. So many callbacks to the Captain America movies. Something even further on that note, after the mission is complete and they've rounded up trying to figure out what to do next, Sam here makes a giant oopsie that I think he's gonna regret really badly, and that we will see in a further episode, when speaking about what to do here and how angry he was that the scientists referred to Isaiah Bradley as being just a test subject used to bring back the super soldier serum to life. If you look in the background, that definitely catches Zemo's attention, where he even turns his head a little bit and listens to what Sam is saying in that moment, and getting the name Isaiah. Like we were just talking about, Zemo's motive here is to get rid of as many super soldiers out there in the world as possible, and if he finally knows the first name of the super soldier whose blood was used to recreate these guys, oh, I'm sorry, Baron Zemo is about to go find Isaiah Bradley and kill him off, as to make sure there are no loose ends of super soldiers that can be made out there. Sam is gonna feel really responsible for even bringing that name to Zemo's attention. Before getting to the big ending reveal of this episode, we look back on John Walker Captain America and Battlestar here, trying to investigate how Zemo even escaped in the first place, figuring out pretty quick that Bucky and Sam had something to do with it. Now I was kind of surprised with the interaction they had here, because I just keep having it in my mind that these are bad guys and these guys are gonna go rogue, but the conversation they had here is pretty justified. Bucky and Sam broke the law. Battlestar is even questioning Captain America's methods about wanting to go after them, and Cap is wanting to go off book, but I'm telling you, at the end of the day, their main motive is to find some of that super soldier serum and not really capture Bucky or Sam. When arriving at Riga, Latvia for the next mission into stopping the power broker, we see Bucky wanting to go ahead on a walk by himself, catching these tracing devices on the floor. Now, I first thought these were callbacks to what the Winter Soldier was using in his movie. If you remember, he also had these similar ball devices that he was throwing around, but we actually find out this is Wakanda technology, and one of the Dora Milajes, the elite group of bodyguards in Wakanda, has come to collect Zemo. I don't know about you, but I definitely got chills just even hearing a little bit of that Wakanda music. It makes sense that the Dora Milaje, though, is coming in to collect Zemo, because yes, like they mentioned early on in this episode, Zemo is responsible for killing one of their Black Panthers, King T'Chaka. They probably have an alert system ready to make sure anytime Zemo moves or even escapes prison, they're aware about it and they have to go after him. I think this is pretty awesome that the Falcon and Winter Soldier is bringing in the Dora Milaje and exploring some Wakandian culture. We've had them mention Wakanda a few times in the show already, with callbacks to the Winter Soldier as the White Wolf. I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually have to go to Wakanda, and we know a Wakanda TV series is in the works now from Ryan Coogler. This could be the setup that they're doing for that TV show. I just also know this is going to be kind of heartbreaking, because you know, in those next few episodes, they're going to be referencing King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman's character, because this was all filmed before his passing, when they still thought he would be a part of the MCU and their future plans for what they're doing. To now, I wouldn't be surprised if some dialogue was changed around, or maybe they have rewritten some stuff. I know there's crazy fan theories saying that that was originally supposed to be Chadwick Boseman at the end, but I don't know if that really would have been. Still, nonetheless, episode 3 of Falcon the Winter Soldier was amazing. Highlight for me is just watching Zemo dance right there, because that's how I was feeling at the end of this episode. Let me know if there's any Easter eggs you guys caught that I might have missed. What were your thoughts on here? What were some of your favorite parts? What parts did you hate? What do you think the outcome will be for the show? Anything and everything, be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.